How do you make an epoxy project look realistic? In this video, we're going to show you how we start with a picture and we're going to follow that design and create our own color recipe. It's fun to be able to choose any colors you want, and with tools, tips, and techniques, we're going to show you exactly how to take those colors and make a custom piece for your own space. The following day, we demonstrated how duplicatable this recipe really was. Our class was shocked at how easy it was to match that same color recipe. You can visit us anytime at stonecoatcountertops.com. Check out these results, stay tuned, and enjoy the video. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified every time we have a new video. Meet Kira and Alan. They brought us some pictures of their new construction project that they wanted to match grain flow on, and this is the stone they were looking for.
This is a sage green. Is that kind of what you're talking about, or are you talking like a...
Here we're going to show you the process that we use to match custom colors.
Okay, that's our Mystic Moss.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I said sage. You're
No,
right.
you're good. Mystic Moss, you like that color. That's good to know. See that shade of blue right there?
Right.
That's our earth blue. Is that what more you were looking for?
Yeah.
So no promises on how close or not we get, but I'll do my very best.
One of our first steps in this process is to use our existing samples to confirm colors and patterns for our customer. Now, it was the grain flow and not so much the colors that were important to Kira, so we're laying out the grain flow on our substrate with some spray paint prior to pouring. Now, as we were mixing our Stone Coat Countertop clear epoxy, we actually added a little bit of copper base tint, just enough to make it translucent so that we got more depth when we added some other colors and additives into this. Some portions of this project will simply use clear epoxy as opposed to the tinted copper. We're also going to give this some grain flow with our brush.
Just kind of put a direction on this. So I'm just trying to keep that copper a little bit segregated from, you know what I mean, just to create those high and low points. Okay, so this corner right here is going to be our blue earth.
In one of the pictures that Kira showed us, there was actually a section of the stone that was quite different and contrasting the rest of the stone. And in this case, Kira wanted that color to be blue earth. Another additive that was chosen was our Mystic Moss metallic powder. So we mixed that with some of our clear epoxy and we're putting that in to match that grain flow. Now we're going to start causing reactions with some different spray paint colors. Communication is key in the design of color samples. You really want to make sure that these are the colors that your customer really likes and wants with their decor. But you know, when you start to make a sample, it's sometimes interesting to see reactions because at first they think you're crazy. This looks a little weird, but we're going to make it look super natural using tools like a heat gun and a torch. Here we're using some Almond Spray paint to create some highlighted areas because that's what it looked like in the picture. And again, all this is communicated with your customer.
So this is exactly how I would kind of teach myself to do a piece, is just start playing. I mean, there's only one way to kind of start to build it, you know?
We're chopping out that blue earth section just to give it some different definition. And here we're playing with that heat gun, we're moving color, and this really feathers it out and it spreads it out to start to make it look real natural for us. To create some of those fine lines you'll see and realistic results of natural stone, we're going to layer color upon color. So we're going to use our Mystic Moss Metallic and some black spray paint. We'll push that down with a paint stick, and as we take our heat gun and move that around, it's going to lace out. It'll create these small fine lines and fracturing and melding, and it really creates fun definition. That's one of the keys. Now we're going cross grain with some Kona brown spray paint and some metallic gold spray paint, and we're going to feather that out with the heat gun, and the results were fantastic. To match our picture, it was important to go cross grain with some of our effects.
So Alan and Kira have a house that they're building, and this is what we made kind of as our first sample for the picture that they showed.
This project was a great opportunity to show that color recipes are duplicatable. We simply used the same recipe that we did the day before to show our class how to make this countertop. We have 2 coats of paint and primer in one, tinted in Ethiopia. We sanded that with 220 grit. We wiped our dust, and again, it's time to create our roadmap and our grain flow of this project. After we've sketched out our roadmap, now it's time for the epoxy process. We mixed our epoxy, then we added a little bit of copper to that first section so that we could keep that translucent where you could still see through it. And then we put our blue earth right there in the middle. That's where the class wanted it. And then we simply added our Mystic moss. We started doing that in the veins just like we had done before. Because our color recipe was now determined and we knew which direction we were going to go, this was a much faster project. Even though it was larger, it went much faster and we were able to do this with confidence. Mitch was in shock at what we were doing. The magic was really created in this color recipe using that heat gun. It laced these colors out. We almost went perpendicular to our grain flow and it pushed it around in organic fashion and it made it look amazing. Here we're using our gloved hands to get epoxy on all the vertical edges. That's important as well. Many folks took a crack at that heat gun and the common consensus was it was a blast. It's almost as if you're cheating. It really makes your project look professional. Looks like you spent hours trying to create those effects and they happen right before your eyes. A big pro tip is not to underwork your project. You really want to move those colors and layer them and keep working it until you can step back and nothing jumps out at you as fake. You got plenty of working time. That's the beautiful thing about Stone Coat Countertop Epoxy. You can keep working that until you're happy. Here we're adding those perpendicular lines with Kona brown and that gold spray paint, and we're going to create those contrasting effects.
Oh wow, right through the goods.
Right through it. Now it looks like I destroyed it, right? This is something good to do in front of your customer.
After all that hard work, we grabbed that Kona brown, we drug it right across our veins, and many people think you're destroying your project. But we already did a sample. We know the outcome. We're not nervous, and we're going to create a stunning work of functional art. For many more recipes and design ideas, visit us anytime at stonecoatcountertops.com. Call in anytime for free project support. And remember, until next time, you got this. Remember, when you subscribe to our channel, click on the red subscribe button and be sure to ring the bell so you get notified every time we have a new video. Thanks again. Visit stonecoatcountertops.com to see all the products used in this video.
Did anybody see my mom on the show the other night?